I'm using my KDSN, the Hive pen for this. Shouts out to the HasanAbi head who gave this to me. Love my local news reporters. Instructions to voters marking your ballot. It says do this, not a check, and not an X. Use only black or blue ink. That's fine. I got that shit locked down. Okay. Page 1 of 6. For city local, Los Angeles Community College District. But I'm opening up my official ballot right now. And in order to, and we're going to go through the ballot measures as well. I will, of course, be, as always, using the DSA LA voter guide. Okay. I'm going to be dropping off my ballot at a participating vote center tomorrow, but I will be filling it out right now as we go along. We got the return envelope, instructions. Instructions says, I got an iVoter sticker in here too. Instruction says, number 1, check that you have your ballot cards and a return envelope. Okay. I need a pen. I have my ballot cards and a return envelope. Number 2, vote. And it says here that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, your vote will not be eligible. What? That's crazy. Can't believe that they're doing that. Can't believe that they're saying that and doing that. I guess that's California for you. Use only black or blue ink pen to mark your choices on your ballot. Fill in the circle to the left of your choice. Don't vote for more choices than indicated. This is going to be really hard because Kamala Harris has told me that she's a uniter of America, and therefore, judging by her unification strategy, I personally thought the smart thing to do would be to vote both for Donald Trump and also for Kamala Harris because, you know, she said she would be the great uniter and not the divider. Do not return this card with the ballot, it says. I got the official ballot in front of me. Okay? It's kind of crazy because I am an undocumented immigrant. And it's wild that they sent this to me, despite the fact that I am an undocumented immigrant. But such is the nature of California politics once again. As you guys know, it is illegal for me to vote is what the Republicans want you to think. But the reality of the matter is it's very legal and very cool for undocumented immigrants to vote. Undocumented immigrants such as myself. But I do feel like we need a little bit of fun while I'm filling out my ballot. Okay? Sure, we'll go over to the Democratic Socialists of America Los Angeles voter guide. But I feel like we need to spice it up a little bit, you know? Am I alone in this? Does anyone have the link that I'm looking for? I'm looking for something to just like set the mood. Really. And I can't seem to find, you know what? Maybe this song?
Oh my God, I will vote.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, I
Okay, this seems like a good song. Hold on. I'll be back. I gotta get a pen.
for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. The people go out to vote, no fear, no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go. Vote for Trump. If you wanna keep America great, vote for Trump. Let's do it. I vote for Trump. Come on. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. Oh yeah. For Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. Oh my God. I will vote for Donald Trump. Right now.
I don't believe in fake news.
No, I don't.
All I need is the truth.
Yeah.
Because we love our country.
We love it just like you.
Economy.
Economy por Trump. Okay. Anyway, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls. Let's get started on Los Angeles. Okay, first up, we have on the official ballot for the general election, November 5th, 2024, County, Los Angeles. I'm using my KDSN, the Hive pen for this. Shouts out to the HasanAbi head who gave this to me. Love my local news reporters. Instructions to voters marking your ballot. It says do this, not a check, and not an X. Use only black or blue ink. That's fine. I got that shit locked down. Okay. Page 1 of 6. For city local, Los Angeles Community College District member of the Board of Trustees, seat 1. Okay, where the fuck are the city logo? This shit's so hard, dude. Ay, ay, ay. Por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. DSA SF dropped the ball, to be honest. They don't have a voter guide. I was like, what the fuck? That is kind of crazy. But there's definitely something. There's definitely something out there. There's no way that there isn't a voter guide at all. You know what I mean? I love finding new Schumer's that love Donald Trump as much as I do. Leftist people in San Francisco should use pissed off voter guide. Voter guide all in one image. That is Chris Rail's voter guide. Okay. Chris Rail has also another LA voter guide. Another one that you can use is Knock LA. You can make up your mind on some of these, but most of these are going to be in alignment with one another. But overall, this is fucking confusing, man. What the fuck? DSA LA posted you? I know. They're so silly for posting that photo instead. Anyway, okay. I like that for hold on. I don't want to reveal too much of my I don't want to reveal all of the shit that I'm voting for, right? Like city specific shit. I guess people know like what area that I live in, but you know what? I'm going to keep my city local shit to myself, okay? I'm going to keep my city local shit to my damn self. How about that? How about that? Okay, this is on. All right, there it is. Community College Board of Trustees. These are some of the races where very little information is presented to you, dear voter, but it matters a lot. Like our LAUSD public schools, our community colleges are pinnacles of our neighborhood and provide vital services to our working class communities. LA Community College District is huge geographically and oversees a $10.4 billion budget. Other roles include hiring and firing the chancellor. In this case, this board is tasked with both right now, following a vote of no confidence in the most recent one, making sure community needs are met by the schools and implementing programs and policies to help our students. Our community colleges have been faced with declining enrollment since the pandemic, as well as several lawsuits ranging from delayed and over budget construction projects not complying with the ADA and sexual harassment. Despite the board having discrete seats, you are not geographically bound, so we're all voting for seats 1, 3, 5, and 7. Historically, incumbents have run a slate, and this year is no different. The slate of incumbents includes Andrea Hoffman for seat 1, David Vela for seat 3, Nichelle Henderson for seat 5, and Kelsey Leno for seat 7. They all represent the better option in each race, each and every race. I only use TYT Anna's voting coloring book voting guide that shows the best ways to fill in your ballot in a way that creates a cute, nonpartisan image. Every picture ensures you never miss a transphobia. Okay. Andrea Hoffman for seat 1. This is interesting because it's not the same here. This person is saying LA Community College Trustees, Cheyenne Sims, Nancy Perlman. Very different than. Am I looking at the right? Like, what the fuck? So DSA LA and this person, Chris Rail, are directly at odds with one another. I'm going to go with the DSA LA one. An org's voter guide versus one person's guide. Check Chris Rail's guide, please. This slate is endorsed by the faculty and staff unions who work and teach at LA community colleges and also UTLA and LA Fed. In some of these races, the slate candidate is the only candidate who's not a right-winger, like in the case of seat 5. In others, they are the most experienced candidates, ensuring our community colleges are responsive and to the needs of Black, Brown, and LGBTQ students, like in seats 1 and 3. And we'd like to highlight Kelsey Leno, an active leader in her union, is current president of El Camino College Federation of Teachers, currently bargaining for a fair contract. Chris is an unhoused mutual aid activist who worked with DSA until they stopped doing unhoused mutual aid in 2019. Do with that information what you will, chatters. She says Cheyenne Sims for LA College Community College Trustees for seat 1. DSA LA says Andrea Hoffman. For seat 3, DSA LA says David Vela. For seat 3, she says Nancy Perlman. For seat 5, DSA LA says Kelsey Leno. She says for seat 5, Nichelle Henderson. Wait, what? She says for seat 7, Kelsey Leno. Wait, is the DSA LA one wrong? What the fuck? Oh no, they're running for all the seats. Okay. No, you misread. Nichelle Henderson for seat 5. Seat 7, Kelsey Leno. DSA LA says seat 7. Oh, Kelsey Leno for seat 7. Okay. I did misunderstand it. It was my fault. Anyway. All right. Okay. Economy for Trump. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Okay. DSA LA on his last legs? No. Okay. Then you have members of the state assembly. which is a difficult one. Unfortunately, you can make a decision on that one depending on which district you're in. Let's just say that some districts are not great, regardless of your position. Which happens quite a bit. Anyway, state representative, of course, for your district, which for me, California's 30th congressional district. This Los Angeles district covers a big swath of central Los Angeles, including Hollywood and Silver Lake, and then stretches up to include eastern San Fernando Valley, Glendale, and Burbank. Centrist and liberal Warhawk Senate candidate Adam Schiff has held a version of the seat since 2001. After an incredibly crowded primary, Democrat voters canceled each other out, leaving us with a Democrat versus a GOP race. Laura Friedman has been among the most progressive California State Assembly members, regularly sponsoring and authoring bills for a single state payer, as well as leading on public transportation, bike lanes, and other environmental issues in the LA area. She's considered more accessible than most sitting politicians to grassroots and non-money groups, though she still has her fair share of business interest supporters. Beyond the Assembly, Friedman is endorsed by the LA Times, a handful of local unions, a bunch of Democratic women orgs like Emily's List, and overlapping DSA Los Angeles elected officials Constantine Anthony and Hugo Soto Martinez. She's up against a weird libertarian who brought a big billboard near Echo Park on the 101 and hasn't done much else. Laura Friedman has this in the bag. The Deep Blue District. Okay. Los Angeles City General Municipal Election Measure DD. Independent Redistricting Commission for the City of Los Angeles Charter Amendment. Shall the city charter be amended to establish an independent redistricting commission to redraw city council district lines every 10 years in the city of Los Angeles? Supporters: Councilmember Paul Krikorian, Councilmember Nithya Rahman, California Common Cause. Opponents: none submitted. Currently, redistricting in Los Angeles is decided every 10 years by a 21-member commission. One of its biggest flaws in this process is that each city council member gets to appoint a member to the commission, which plays into America's long history of gerrymandering, where voting districts are selectively drawn to favor a political base. By getting to appoint their own map drawing commission, the Los Angeles City Council members get to choose their voters, as opposed to voters getting to choose their representative. What time does the coverage of the election start? I mean, it's already started. It's never stopped. Okay? All right, I'm going to run through these. Yes on Measure DD. In the back, we have more city local shit. Measure HH, City Governance Appointments and Elections Charter Amendment HH, which is a City Governance Appointments and Elections Charter Amendment HH. Shall the city charter be amended to require that commission appointees file financial disclosures before they can be confirmed, clarify the controller's auditing authority regarding city contractors, expand the city attorney's subpoena power. Obviously, there's no opponents to it, and obviously, it's a yes. For Measure 2, which is City Administration and Operations Charter Amendments, shall the city charter be amended to clarify that the El Pueblo monument and the zoo are park property, clarify the departments may sell merchandise to support city operations, including gender identity and non-discrimination rules applicable to employment in the city, clarify the Airport Commission's rule to establish fees and regulations. Supporters are Councilmember Paul Krikorian, opponents none submitted. And for Measure 2, that's a yes as well. You get to participate and do your civic duty and make major impacts in your immediate life. That's why I always say I love voting, I love voting, and you should too. ER, Los Angeles General Election, Municipal Election Measure ER, City Ethics Commission Authority and Operational Independence Charter Amendment ER. A lot of this stuff is like pretty basic, pretty understandable, pretty easy to understand. Some of these are going to have like interesting. Some of these are going to have interesting. It was I, not two, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Some of these are going to have interesting language, and I will get to it in a second, especially when we get to the propositions. Okay. Yeah. City Ethics Commission Authority and Operational Independence Charter Amendment ER. Shall the city charter be amended to establish a minimum annual budget for the City Ethics Commission? For Measure ER, we say yes. Los Angeles Fire and Police Pensions, Peace Officers, Charter Amendment FF. Shall the city charter be amended to allow peace officers employed by the Police, Airport, Harbor, and Recreation and Parks Department to transfer membership and service from the Los Angeles City Employees Retirement System to the LA Fire and Police Pension Plan? Supporters of this measure are Mayor Karen Bass, LA Airport Peace Officers Association, council members, Blumenfield. I know how I feel about this, okay? This is refunds. I know how I feel about this. I wonder how DSA feels about this, and if I'm at odds with this, with DSA-LA on this matter. Let's see if Cinemarxism is right and DSA-LA is totally compromised. We don't really want to be whimsical with Charter Amendment FF, so it doesn't get a fun alliterative name. And if it did, it would involve a curse word. Okay. Yeah, never mind. All right. They're also okay. All right. Well, everyone is in agreement. Voted no on that. Los Angeles City General Municipal Election Measure LL. Independent Redistricting Commission for the Los Angeles Unified School District Charter Amendment LL. Shall the city charter be amended to establish an independent redistricting commission to redraw Board of Education district lines every 10 years in the Los Angeles Unified School District? Supporters are Common Cause, Community Coalition, Catalyst California, board members Jackie Goldberg, board member Tanya Ortiz Franklin. Opponents, none submitted. For LL, we also say yes. Dude, I'm coloring inside of the lines so fucking hard. You don't even understand. I'm like this. I'm like, I got my tongue out and shit, making sure that I'm coloring inside of the lines perfectly. All right, moving on to page number 3. Let's go. City Local, Unified School District, General Election Measure. Local Public School Safety and Upgrades Measure. To update the school facilities for the 21st century U.S. students' learning and career college preparedness. There are opponents of this, which is Howard Jarvis, the Taxpayers Association, Mike Antonovich, the LA County Supervisor, retired, Jack Humphreysville. The supporters of it is Yali Flores, Families in Schools, Gene Hale, LA AFAM Chamber, Dr. A. McCorders, Charmaine Morales, RN, Ernesto Medrano, Building Trades. This measure is supposed to update school facilities for the 21st century student learning and career college preparedness, improve school facilities for safety, earthquakes, and disability access. And there are motherfuckers who are like, honestly, we shouldn't do that. That's pretty cool, I think. This would be authorizing $9 billion in bonds at illegal rates, levying approximately 2.5 cents per $100 of assessed valuation, generating $456,123,000 annually until approximately 2059 with audits and citizens oversight. By the way, let's see what the DSALA has to say about this. What am I doing? Unified School District. Am I? Okay, whatever. LA Unified School District. I can't even fucking find this shit. God damn it. Oh, bond measure. Here it is. We recommend voting yes. Motherfucker use a table of contents? No, it's hard to figure it out. On county district attorney, we obviously have, not the best situation, but you have George Gascon, a writing candidate, or Nate Hockman. And I'll just tell you this much, okay? I'll tell you this much. Do you recommend not voting? No, I've never recommended not voting. I'm literally in the process of voting, and you're asking me if I recommend not voting. Yes, vote. I'm literally fucking voting. Right now, I'm voting my dick off, dude. Anyway, the current DA is George Gascon, who bit the incumbent Jackie Lacey back in 2020. That was only possible because of the historic efforts by BLM Los Angeles activists. Gascon has been an improvement over Lacey. The Los Angeles Times has found that under his tenure, prosecutions of police officers for excessive force have become more of a focus, and 7 people have been exonerated for crimes judges later ruled they did not commit. The contradiction of this race is a socialist looks at George Gascon and could go, a progressive DA might be an oxymoron, but hey, he's doing a hell of a lot better than other DAs all around the country. To the reactionary mind, however, Gascon is a devil from Black and White Fleischer Studios cartoon, dancing as he opens prison doors in hell. And for the record, everybody hates him. Everybody hates George Gascon. I mean, all the reactionaries hate him. I assume that there are some people that I even know personally that voted against him. I, however, will be voting for him. So, because I love releasing criminals out into the wild, and that is why I am voting for George Gascon, and I urge you to do the same. Anyway, moving on from that, we have Superior Court office judges inside of the Superior Court. It's, we got a bunch of people. Okay, hold on. Let me look this up. I know who I'm voting for, but it's good to just go through it. Superior Court judges recommending voting for George Turner for 39, Erica Wiley for 48, and Lachey Henderson for Office 97 is another public defender who we recommend as judge. Okay. 2 public defenders are running together in a slate calling themselves Defenders of Justice, another progressive slate for judges after the mixed success of the 2022 election slate endorsed by DSALA. Elected Ulysses Hernandez, their platform prioritizes care over punishment and opposes mass incarceration. Electing progressive judges won't fix our ultimately broken judicial system, but it sure would help a lot of people to have these candidates overseeing their cases. If you see a public defender, usually it's a good person to vote for a judge. But yes, George Turner for office number 39. He is a deputy public defender from the county of Los Angeles. And for office 48, Erica Wiley, who is also, again, a deputy public defender from the county of Los Angeles. And Lachey Henderson, who is also a deputy public defender for office number 97. And then for 135, you have the deputy district attorney and the going up against another deputy district attorney, Stephen Yemak versus Georgia Huerta. And when there's a situation like that, I feel like there's usually no recommendation from any guide. Like DSALA won't make a recommendation. Other places won't make a recommendation. I'll take a look at NOC LA. I doubt that they have one, but Stephen Yemak versus Georgia Huerta. Okay, NOC LA says Georgia Huerta, who has the most experience as a lawyer and who served as district attorney in collaborative courts. NOC LA got bought out, I think. Yemak is endorsed by right-wingers. Okay. And then for 137, there's also, the recommendation is Luz E. Herrera. All right, County Measure G, vote yes or no. Proposed County Charter Amendment. Los Angeles County Government Structure, Ethics, and Accountability Charter Amendment shall the measure amending the Los Angeles County Charter to create an elected county executive, create an independent ethics commission to increase restrictions on lobbying and investigative misconduct. What do we think, chat? I'm letting chat decide this one. Fuck it. Fuck. We're doing extra democracy. Do we like that there is a accountability ethics amendment? We're going to do meta democracy today. Okay. County measure. Why is that not showing up? Fucking Christ. Crime is cool. More laws, more crime. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, supporters are none. However, the opponents are LA County firefighters and sheriffs, the Community Coalition, LA County Supervisors Catherine Barger and Holly J. Mitchell. This would increase restrictions on lobbying and investigative misconduct, establish a nonpartisan legislative analyst to review proposed county policies, increase board of supervisors from 5 to 9 elected members, require county departments to present annual budgets in public meetings using existing funding sources with no additional taxes to implement as detailed in the Charter Amendment Ordinance. Should this be adopted? Ballot Measure G. There have been attempts to expand the board. We'll start off by saying Measure G was difficult to get a read on. Literally, we had to hunt and find a copy of the actual ordinance text. The top line of the measure is that it will expand the size of the board of supervisors from 5 to 9, beginning with elections in 2032 following a redistricting process. It will also restrict lobbying and investigate every 10 years and transmit recommendations to the county. Perhaps the most controversial is making the county. I would ask this measure to be sure. Expanded the board to 9 supervisors is a huge improvement over 5. Why are they saying no to that? I'm confused. Though increasing proportional representation is good, expansion does come with its drawbacks, such as potentially creating districts more favorable to conservatives and NIMBYs, and could make it harder for unions to bargain good contracts. That's interesting. As written, county executive would go from a board of supervisors appointed by position to elected position, and their powers would greatly expand. Essentially creating a county mayor. While on the surface we understand the idea of creating an elected position that would have executive power authority over the county, this seat does not subject to term limits, could leave LA County with an entrenched neoliberal leadership for who knows how long. Additionally, the county executive. Some proponents of Measure G mention that the county executive role replicates a system of checks and balances as seen in the federal and LA city government, but just because they're a precedent doesn't mean that they're equitable and favor the working class. We constantly see terrible budgets and oppressive politics come out of each of these systems. Ultimately, though Measure G appears to have good intentions, the change to the county executive and the way that the measure has been pushed out with little visibility or coalitional organizing from supervisors Horvath or Hahn makes this vary the outcome. We recommend a no vote. I'm going to say yes, simply on the principle that the LA County firefighters and sheriff's office are opponents to it. Okay, but firefighters? Bitch, that doesn't mean anything. That's just a way to fucking do PR for the sheriffs. Yeah, if they just simply put LA County sheriffs. Anyway, County Measure A, vote yes or no. Homelessness services and affordable housing ordinance to require accountability and results, create affordable housing, support homeownership, provide rental assistance, increase mental health. Yes, this was Measure G. Ballot Measure E, Ballot Measure A. Homelessness services and affordable housing ordinance, accountability results, create affordable housing, support homeownership. This is literally every fucking LA race, by the way. Every goddamn election cycle, there's like another ballot measure like this, where they're like, would you like to give a house to every homeless person? And like it passes by like 75%. And then every day after it passes, we're just like, oops, don't know what we can do about it. Yeah. And then nothing happens. Literally every fucking ballot, every election, there is a ballot measure that's like, would you like to give every homeless person their own home and perhaps maybe even a puppy? Like, for emotional support, and then they don't fucking do it. I do want to read the supporters: Women's and Children's Crisis Shelter, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles, LA Family Housing. Opponents: Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, Mike Antonovich, and LA County Supervisor retired Jack Humphreeville. Yes, by the way, you vote yes for this. It's funding for homelessness initiatives. Kaya! Speaking of puppies, I'm going to bring my puppy in here while I play this. I'll be back in a second.
Oh my God, I will vote.
Kaya!
I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. The people go out to vote, no fear, no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go. Vote for Trump. If you wanna keep America great, vote for Trump. Let's do it. I vote for Trump. Come on. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. Oh yeah. For Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Oh my God.
What the fuck happened? The thing broke. All right. Anyway, yes on Measure A to give critical funds to homeless people, homeless assistance. The Taxpayer Association, due to straight up evil and is a recurring villain on these measures. Yeah, I love that. But I actually respect that because like it gives you a easier way to interpret like what you're voting for when you can sometimes look at like who's voting for it and who's voting against it if you don't fully understand. Like, because some of this stuff is written in a way that is like deliberately obtuse. It's supposed to misguide you. And we'll get to that in a second. Like a lot of the big ballot initiatives, a lot of the big ballot measures will always be written in a way where it's like, oh, yeah, here it is. There you go. A tweet saying what you just told. I think it's cool. You could just vote opposite of whatever these guys want, and it saves you a ton of time researching your ballot. Exactly. Like that is straight up a smart. There's like something that's particularly confusing because it's written in this like very confusing way. You can look at like who opposes the ballot measures. So I do appreciate when it's like, you know, the Conservative Taxpayer Association of America. I'm like, okay, well, fuck you guys, you know. State Measure 2 authorizes bonds for public school and community college facilities. Legislative statute, $10 billion in general obligation bonds. Fuck. At the state level, State Measure 2. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for State Measure 2. $10 billion in general obligations for repair, upgrade, construction. Easy fucking. Opponents: Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association. Okay. State Measure 3. Proposition 3 amends California Constitution to recognize fundamental right to marry regardless of sex or race. I don't know about this one. Opponents: Jonathan Keller, California Family Council. Reverend Tanner DeBella. I can't in good conscience allow Nariusun. Okay, wear that one here. That's a jacket. That one right there on the chair. Okay, I have a hoodie on the couch. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know. Amends California Constitution to recognize the fundamental right to marry regardless of sex or race. Removes language in the California Constitution stating that marriage is only between a man and a woman. The opponents are right-wing homophobic elected officials. Those guys seem like good guys. Anyway, all right. Enough fucking around. There's already too many goddamn fucking ballot measures and propositions and this fucking stupid shit. God, I hate democracy. Okay. Proposition number 4 authorizes $10 billion in general obligation bonds for water, wildfire prevention, and protection of communities and lands. Okay. I think I'm going to go for safe drinking water on this. I think I'm going to go yes on this. I love that Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, again, with a no on the measure for the record. Isn't that fucking awesome? Like, these guys literally openly were like, we don't want clean water. Okay? Do not open up any fucking general obligation bonds for water, wildfire prevention, and protection of communities of land, along with annual audits. It's like the guy is literally saying, I am not in favor of fighting wildfires. I'm fighting the fire with fire. I am pro fire. All right, state measure 5. Proposition 5 allows local infrastructure and housing bonds for low and middle income Californians with 55% vote, lowering the threshold from a supermajority. The amount of bonds would depend on decision by local governments and voters. Supporters are California Professional Firefighters, League of Women Voters of California, Habitat for Humanity. Opponents, California Taxpayers Association, California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, and the Women Veterans Alliance. Why the fuck would the Women Veterans Alliance oppose the motherfucking proposition that allows local infrastructure and housing bonds for low and middle income Americans, Californians with a 55% vote? Passing Prop 5 will make it easier for California cities and counties to invest in local housing and infrastructure. Why are you the Women's Veterans Alliance and you're like, nah, female veterans, they love being homeless? No, please. We do not want affordable housing. I'm voting yes on Measure 5. State Measure 6, Proposition 6. They don't have internet. Yeah, don't hate on them. They don't got no internet. State Measure 6. Eliminates constitutional provision allowing involuntary servitude for incarcerated persons. Now, this is a very controversial one. It is, for those of you who don't know, this is literally a measure, I shit you not, to abolish slavery. This measure, which the Jarvis Johnson Taxpayer for a Worse America Foundation has not opposed, okay, surprisingly. This is the one measure that even they were like, man, I can't fucking put my name on this like pro-slavery not Jarvis Johnson, whatever. What is it? Howard Jarvis. DSA got this one wrong. Vote no, trust me. Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna vote to abolish slavery instead of choosing to maintain slavery. Yes, this is not fake. This is real. Oh, you're just linking Louisiana State Penitentiary. Yeah. No, this is California. In the state of California, we have decided 2024 is the year where we're like, let's take a look at this slavery business, which is really funny to think about when you realize that the Constitution still has not abolished it, okay? Just so you understand, it's still legal, okay? And in every other state, it's still legal. It's just in our state, we at least get to put our name on it. And we're like, you know what? Let's abolish slavery. I feel brave. I feel like a real John Brown right now, voting yes on involuntary, on ending the inhumane and backwards practice of involuntary servitude. Wow. With the stroke of a pen, ladies and gentlemen, this is how democracy thrives, okay? This is how democracy thrives. Proposition 32 raises minimum wage. Yeah. And for the record, the Jarvis Johnson Tax Dodgers Association is not openly in opposition to this, but plenty of other associations have, including, but not limited to, California Chamber of Commerce, California Restaurant Association, and the California Grocers Association. They don't want this, okay? They don't want this at all. They don't want Prop 32, which would raise the California minimum wage to $18 an hour, okay? This measure extends the annual increases $1 per year until minimum wage currently $15 per hour for businesses with 26 or more employees and $14 per hour for smaller businesses reaches $18 per hour. Therefore, as existing law requires, the minimum wage will annually adjust for inflation. Not only am I in favor of abolishing slavery, I'm also in favor of, and this might come as a surprise to you, I'm in favor of abolishing the minimum wage. That's right. No more minimum wage, ladies and gentlemen. It should be $0. Some people need to pick themselves up by their fucking bootstraps. It's time. Pick yourself up by your fucking bootstraps. You goddamn pores. Fuck you. Just kidding. We're going to vote yes, even though, not the, it should be a little bit better than that. But what are you going to do? State measure Proposition 33. This is the Justice for Renters Act. Passing this act will allow. This is the controversial. We're getting to the controversial. We're getting to the controversial propositions, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs. This is the type of stuff. This is where you put your fucking pedal to the goddamn metal. Okay. This one right here, Proposition 33, is the Justice for Renters Act. Passing this act will allow local governments to protect residents by strengthening rent control. Now, of course, we obviously have people who are saying vote no, rent control bad. All of the fucking Redditors have been activated. I'll have you know, sir, McGurd, rent control bad, rent control wrong. Yeah, guess what, dude? I don't feel that way. And you know what? You can't do anything about it. To those who say landlords are the backbone of society, to them I say, here's a bone. I got a bone to pick with you, sir. Anyway, Proposition 33 is bad. It's a way to fucking feed NIMBYism and all this shit. I know. Yeah. Supporters include Senator Bernie Sanders. It's the centerpiece of California DSA's. Oops. Fuck! God damn it. This fucking stupid ass voter guide is already hard to navigate. Okay. Centerpiece of California DSA's Arch campaign is chapters organized canvassing work with DSA endorsed candidate campaigns, conduct tabling and digital communications. Supporters include Senator Bernie Sanders, yuck. California Democratic Party, California Nurses Association, ACLU of Southern California, Americans for Democratic Action. The opposition is led by the California Apartment Association, the landlord lobby, which is spending tens of millions of dollars in mailers, lying about the impact of Prop 33. Other opponents include Assemblymember Buffy Wicks, California Republican Party, California YIMBY, the California Chamber of Commerce, and the California Business Round Table. Okay. This initiative is a fight. This initiative fight is a clear class struggle campaign between renters and landlords, between workers and capitalists, in that we enthusiastically endorse a yes vote on Proposition 33. All right. There you go. I'm disappointed. You need to be YIMBY pilled. Nothing to do with landlords. Every orange pilled armchair urbanist in the chat is losing their fucking minds. Okay. Now we get to the real juicy stuff. In retaliation for Prop 33 and other efforts to expand rent control by the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, the California Apartment Association Landlords has spent $30 million to prevent the foundation from being able to spend money in the future on initiative campaigns. Opponents include the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Housing is a Human Right and League of Women Voters of California. Even some media editorials have opposed this revenge effort. Okay? Prop 34 is restricting spending of prescription drug revenues by certain healthcare providers. It requires providers to spend 98% of revenues from federal discount prescription drug program on direct patient care, authorized statewide negotiation of Medi-Cal drug prices. Now, you might be wondering, like, well, this sounds good. Let's take a look at this initiative from Cal Matters.
Ballot that has something to do with spending restrictions on healthcare providers and Medi-Cal negotiations and something called the 340B drug pricing program, but really, it's all about this guy. Let me explain. I'm Ben Christopher, housing reporter with Cal Matters, and this is Prop 34 in a minute. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation is one of the biggest users of a federal discount drug program that gives cheaper medicine to health providers that serve low-income patients. Its CEO is a guy named Michael Weinstein. Weinstein is kind of famous in California political circles, and not because of healthcare. His foundation has bankrolled 3 statewide campaigns to remove limits on rent control, along with a bunch of other controversial issues.
I just need you to understand how funny this is, because it is deliberately a proposition that was created with the exclusive purpose of punishing the prior proposition that we just read and the organization that was pushing for said proposition. Okay? This is straightforwardly a retaliatory proposition specifically to rat fuck the group that is pushing for rent control. We are talking about the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, which is advocating for rent control measures, okay? And this proposition specifically is written to try and rat fuck them.
All of this has made Weinstein a
And of course, this is the reason why I was trying to explain stuff to you. This is the reason why it's good to look at a voter guide and not just fucking freeball it. Okay? Not just freestyle it personally. The reason why it's good not to freestyle this shit personally is because if you just read it raw, okay, and you go into it, you are going to come across very confused. The LA Times investigation later found that many of AHF's, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation's 1,300 residents live in squalid conditions. Sorry, the initiative for Proposition 34 is going after the AIDS Healthcare Foundation because they also are in operation of they are a landlord as well. So it's a landlord versus landlord fight. I accidentally filled yes on 34 and read it raw and then did research and revoted no on it. So the AIDS Foundation itself is also a landlord. The AIDS Foundation itself also operates housing. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation also operates housing. And while they are pushing for rent control, this is a ballot measure specifically pushing to combat that. The AIDS Foundation are slumlords and make billions on pharma sales, but the people pushing for this also suck. No good vote, to be honest. Chris writes a lot of good stuff on the nuance, and people want to read more. We can do more. I mean, I can cover it more extensively, but the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is the reason for why they're pushing like this. Proposition 33 is good. Proposition 34 is specifically created to rat fuck Proposition 33, which is good. But even though the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is also in and of itself operating slums, basically. Here, there's more information.
The state's landlord lobby, and now they're funding Prop 34. The initiative says that if you're a health provider using this federal discount drug program and you spend a lot of money on non-medical things, and you own a lot of apartment buildings, and you have a bunch of code enforcement violations, then you have to spend almost all of your money providing healthcare. As far as anyone can tell, this would only apply to Weinstein's organization. Supporters say discounts meant to fund healthcare for poor people should be used for that, and not for, say, unrelated political campaigns. Opponents say this is just a political vendetta. So vote yes if you want the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and any similar health providers to spend virtually all of their money on direct patient care. Vote no if you want to leave things the way they are.
I want health providers that use federal drug discount. This one is, this video in and of itself is in favor of Proposition 34. I voted no on this one just by looking at the supporters versus the opposition. Yes. The opponents for it are, the supporters for Proposition 34 are the ALS Association, California Chronic Care Coalition, Latino Heritage Los Angeles. The opponents are National Organization for Women, Consumer Watchdog, Coalition for Economic Survival, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, and Dolores Huerta. It's specifically designed to target one singular foundation. Okay. State ballot measure 35. Proposition 35. Proposition 35 makes permanent the existing tax on managed healthcare insurance plans currently set to expire in 2026. Wait, so how are you voting? I voted no. Proposition 35 makes permanent the existing tax on managed healthcare insurance plans set to expire in 2026, which the state uses to pay for healthcare services for low-income families with children, seniors, people with disabilities, and other groups. Covered by the Medi-Cal program, it requires revenues to be used only for specified Medi-Cal services, including primary and specialty care. The SALA has no opinion on it. Chris, on the other hand, votes no. California's version of Medicaid is Medi-Cal. It's a government program that provides health insurance for low-income people and families. The state covers about 40% of the cost, and the federal government covers the rest with matching funds. Most state funding for Medi-Cal comes from the general fund, California's primary budget account, which is used to pay for most public services. Much of the remaining cost is covered by a 2009 special tax on health insurers that provide coverage for both Medi-Cal and commercially insured patients based on the number of people they enroll. The tax generates an estimated $7 to $8 billion annually. Okay? Revenue from the tax goes to two things: existing cost of Medi-Cal, which insures 15 million low-income Californians; rate increases for health providers that serve Medi-Cal patients, totaling $4 billion in recent cost increases added to Medi-Cal annually. Proposition 35 wouldn't generate more funding, but it would make this health plan tax and the revenue it generates permanent, along with some concerning changes. concerning changes. In an attempt to cover their bases after abandoning support for repeatedly sabotaging CalCare, Governor Gavin Newsom and top Democratic legislators tried to spin expanded eligibility for Medi-Cal as universal health care. Newsom and co. changed income criteria and removed immigration status requirements, which increased Medi-Cal enrollment to record highs. But these changes failed to meet the World Health Organization's criteria for universal health coverage and still leaves hundreds of thousands uninsured. Because Medi-Cal reimburses doctors with lower rates than private insurer companies, the increased number of patients enrolled in Medi-Cal has impacted bottom lines. The state budget included some increases in Medi-Cal rates for providers, but some of them want more. Alas, Proposition 35. Medi-Cal rate increases aren't a bad thing. Despite California's high cost of living, Medi-Cal reimbursement rates rank number 32 nationwide, which has led to many providers refusing Medi-Cal patients. Some smaller practices and providers in underserved areas depend on Medi-Cal rates to continue on, really be the ones receiving rate increases if Prop 35 passes. Many individual doctors donated to support Prop 35, but many of the measure's largest backers are massive corporate providers, including some owned by private equity firms. Kaiser is the top financial contributor to the largest PAC supporting Prop 35. Supporters of this measure are California Dental Association, California Hospital Association, California Medical Association, California Primary Care Association, and Planned Parenthood affiliates of California. Opponents, on the other hand, are Retired Americans, Healthy California Now, California Pan-Ethnic Health Network, League of Women Voters of California. Supporters are mostly representatives of the healthcare industry in California and benefit from how spending would be mandated under Proposition 35. This is not only both a confusing proposition, it's obviously always going to be written as a positive, but opponents argue that Proposition 35 would lock in funding locations that favor doctors and hospitals over children, seniors, and community health workers. It would also tie the hands of lawmakers who must already contend with balancing budget priorities each year. The SALA, for that reason, has not issued a decision on this, but overall, Planned Parenthood and its own influence over the state of California is relatively high. The greater problem is that corporate interests will be overrepresented in the advisory committee, which excludes any representation for patients by community health workers. While those unrepresented voices don't have millions in political spending that hospital chains or health insurers can throw up ballot initiatives, they've spoken up about the devastating impacts Prop 35 would have. Prop 35 would provide funding increases for some providers and programs. It would eliminate funding increases for others. Here is the Proposition 35 changes which services get funding increases. With Prop 35, specified hospital services, outpatient facilities, safety net clinics, behavioral health facilities, but non-emergency medical transportation, private duty nursing, certain long-term supports, community health workers, continuous Medi-Cal coverage for children up to 5 years old. And they don't get that. Critics worry that Prop 35's changes in spending will derail other funding this year's health budget bill. Prop 35 restricts the legislature's budget flexibility, requiring a 75% vote to amend how the revenue from this tax is dispensed, which the Western Center on Law and Poverty warns could result in cuts to safety net programs. If you really want to get in the weeds, this Cal Matters article covers how Prop 35 could more broadly jeopardize Medi-Cal funding. The federal government under both Biden and Trump administration has warned California that its tax on health plans to fund Medi-Cal services takes unfair advantage of a loophole in federal regulations. I'm going to vote no on it. And now we get to State Measure 36, Proposition 36. Now this is an interesting one. But before I say my piece on Proposition 36, I'll let someone else do the talking for me.
36 sucks. Vote no. Californians, listen up. Prop 36 is a lie. It's not going to keep us any safer. There are mental health and drug treatment programs that work to reduce crime, and Prop 36 takes over $100 million away from them. Vote no on Prop 36. I'm not endorsed by anybody. Keep black and brown people out of this private prison system that's modern day fucking slavery. I'm only speaking to Californians. If you're not from California, this ain't about you. Vote no. Prop 36 sucks.
There it is. So, Prop 36, State Measure 36, allows felony charges and increases sentences for certain drug and theft crimes. That's the initiative statute. It allows felony charges for possessing certain drugs and for thefts under $950 if defendants have 2 prior drug or theft convictions. The fiscal impact of this is that state criminal justice costs, likely ranging from several tens of millions of dollars to the low hundreds of millions of dollars annually, local criminal justice costs likely in the tens of millions of dollars annually. The supporters of said bill are the Crime Victims of United of California, Crime Victims United of California, the California District Attorneys Association, the Family Business Association of California. The opponents are Diana Becton, the District Attorney, Contra Costa County, the Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice. Now, you guys know there's not really much to say about this. I'm a major favorite of crime. I'm a criminal. I love crime. I'm a big fan of crime. Every time I think about crime, I go, yum, 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 crime for me. Okay? Big fan of that sort of thing. I'm always thinking about how much I love crime. There's never a moment that goes by when I think about ways in which we shouldn't punish criminals. Of course, I'm going to vote no on a tough on crime legislation. California is already the mass incarceration capital of the world. Anna Kasparian is going to be very upset with me for voting no on Prop 36. But fuck it. Let's do some background on this. Thank you. Shouts out to Chris for this wonderful write-out, by the way. 3 strikes law, sentencing enhancements, mandatory minimums, and a war on drugs. These are the policies that decimated black and brown communities in the 80s and 90s. Research shows these policies are harmful and ineffective in reducing crime. You might have been shocked to find out. Some background. Oh, by the way, it's definitely going to win. This ballot measure is definitely going to win because Californians are fucking Adolf Hitler, okay? They love being gay. They love being gay. They love putting up signs in front of their fucking houses talking about, in this household, we care about Black Lives Matter. And then if there is a moment where they even have the opportunity to quietly assassinate a homeless person, they will take it, okay? They will take it. And they will love it. Polls are showing 75% support, something like that. Not surprising to me. They love being vegan. They love Peanut the squirrel being assassinated by the police unjustifiably. They love talking about that. And then when it comes down to it, they're also, number one assassinators of the incarcerated. Anyway, like I said, vote no on Proposition 36. It is really as simple as appealing to people's vengeful tendencies. This is personally not even written in a way that is confusing. It's very deliberately written as we're here to punish motherfuckers, okay? And people are still nah, that's good. In 2011, the California prison system incarcerated 156,000 people, nearly twice as many as it was designed to hold. In Brown v. Plata, the U.S. Supreme Court decided this violated incarcerated people's Eighth Amendment right, which protects against cruel and unusual punishment. Determining this overcrowding was a primary cause of inadequate medical and mental health care. SCOTUS ordered California to reduce its prison population by 46,000 people. Now, understand something. California is such a fucking serial incarcerated that the United States Supreme Court was like, come on, dude, you got to fucking release some of these guys. This is really fucked up. It's more complex than revenge. People want solutions, and violence in prison is all our society offers. Why are you all of a sudden going from, fuck the police, fry him up like bacon to being like, well, the suburban Californian is not a Hitlerite. It's actually just simply because there's no other option here other than incarceration and pain. How the fuck did this happen? Who is this guy? Who is this fucking guy? When did this happen? Anyway, born and raised in California, what are you talking about? I'm not aware of this. Dude, California is a prison state in and of itself. People always think California is super fucking kind and that every aspect of California is super, super nice. And we actually let prisoners roam free. We actually let fucking criminals do crimes. And then we say, sorry, sir, I'm going to do a land acknowledgement and apologize 8 times for you. Okay? That is not the case at all. We have some of the worst housing markets in the entire planet, not just the country, but the entire fucking planet. Which obviously creates a shit ton of homelessness. And then we mistreat those people instead of actually fucking fixing the housing crisis, which created this problem to begin with. Also, on top of that, we're unimaginably draconian in the way that we deal with crime. So, I'm shocked that he's saying that, punishment is seen as the only mechanism of crime and of deterrence in the United States of America. And he's not wrong, but I'm just shocked that it's sin of Marxism saying that. Anyway, so since you don't support institutionalization nor incarceration, how do you want to decrease crime? Just vibes? Yes. I think we should vibe out the prisoners. I'm not defending it. Abolitionism is actually about solving the problems that cause crime. There are problems, people want solutions. All they can answer is crime and prisons. Yeah. How do we solve crime? Definitely not by the things that I immediately, even in the conversation that I was having about homelessness in California, I literally gave you a fucking solution in terms of housing, in terms of offering adequate housing, affordable housing, public housing. And you literally just did not hear that at all. What is wrong with some of you motherfuckers? I tell you something, I tell you a problem, I tell you a solution, and then you go, bitch, you don't have a solution for that, jackass. What kind of argument is this? This is not an argument. This is not an argument. You cannot imagine a shittier position than the one I gave you and be like, I fucking owned you with this imaginary argument that I'm having with you. I'm right here. I'm a human being. I'm using my voice. Listen to the words that are coming out of my fucking mouth. Anyway, thank you for the 50 gifted subs, Acid Burns 3. All right, now we're down to the national election, and boy, oh boy, do we got some good fucking options here. We got Donald J. Trump for president, J.D. Vance for vice president, Republican. We have Claudia de la Cruz for president with Karina Garcia for vice president, peace and freedom. We have Kamala D. Harris. I didn't even know her middle name had a D in it. She got the will of D for president. Tim Walz for vice president, Democratic ticket. We have Robert F. Kennedy for president because he was not able to get off the fucking rolls here. And Nicole Shananan for vice president of the American Independent ticket. Chase Oliver for president. Mike Termott for vice president. We have Jill Stein for president and Rudy Rudolph Ware for vice president. And we have an option for writing candidate. If you think I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for, how I'm voting on this one, you are out of your fucking dang mind. But I do want to see what people are. I do want to see what other people are saying in terms of who they are voting for in this guide. What is the DSA? Who did the DSA endorse? Let's see. Did the DSA endorse anybody for president? Wait, fuck. Where is it? Where is it? Do they have it? Texas DSA endorsed no one law. That's not even remotely surprising, nor is it shocking. It's perfectly understandable. Also, I don't think you need these voter guides are there for things that you have a hard time like figuring out. Okay, they're not there for you to fucking like everyone is making their own minds about goddamn bottom of the index Senate. No, it doesn't. It just ends with Senate. No, they don't have a president. Okay. Anyway, United States Senate contest is on this ballot. One for the regular 6-year term ending January 3rd, 2031. One for the remainder of the current term ending, and then January 3rd, 2025. You may vote for both contests. United States Senator, full term, voted for one. Steve Garvey or Adam Schiff. United States Senator for the short term, unexpired term ending January 3rd, 2025. Steve Garvey or Adam Schiff. Now, this is obviously a very difficult choice, unfortunately, because Adam Schiff sucks. He sucks dick and ass. But also, Steve Garvey sucks even harder and is a Republican. I can't wait to vote for Adam Schiff so he can fucking arrest me for criticizing the state of Israel later down the line. That's what's really cool about this. And no, you can't do a writing candidate for Senate. It's literally like, what? Okay, would be metal as fuck though. I can already imagine the photo. Yeah. Once again, the person that I'm fucking voting for is probably going to inevitably cause my demise. But it is what it is, you know. Not like my vote has a say on this matter, but vote for Steve short term and leave the full term box blank. What? No. The fuck would I do that? First of all, no, I will never vote for a Republican. Number two, are you out of your fucking mind? No, there is no, like, it doesn't even matter because it's California. Adam Schiff is winning. Don't be fucking ridiculous. Anyway, that's it. That's all of it. We did it all, folks. Just invite him on the broadcast and become best friends. Yeah. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Economia por Trump. Did I forget the president? No, I did not forget the fucking president. I voted for the president. I'm just not telling you who I voted for. I am not going to influence your opinion in any direction unless it is to vote por Trump, in which case I will tell you not to do it. Anyway, what? I'm shaking and crying right now. It's disgusting that you're calling him by that last name. You should be banned on this platform forever. Hashtag justice for Adam. Will you tell us after the election is over? Maybe. Anyway, where is it? Take a photo of it. You know what? I'm going to take a photo of it, and one day I'll release it to the world. I think I'll pick up my ballot. I use a DSA guy, but I appreciate the help on the ones they didn't have a recommendation for. Thank you. Hasan Ballot Gate. Did you see Rogan's endorsement of Donald Trump with Elon Musk? Yeah, I did. Let's just say this influenced my vote greatly. I like that this says your ballot must be returned or postmarked by election day and received no later than 7 days after election day. No postage is required. Warning, voting twice in the same state election is a crime. Did you sign and date this return envelope? Did you put your ballot in this envelope? Did you make a mistake on your ballot? Yeah, it doesn't say anything about voting 3 times, so that's cool. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Voter's declaration. I am a resident of and a voter in the precinct, and I am the person whose name appears on this envelope. I have not voted nor intend to vote a ballot from any other jurisdiction in the same election. I declare under penalty of perjury that this is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Amen. Voter sign here. Do not print. You must sign in your own handwriting for the ballot to count. Signature must match your voter registration record. They're doing signature matching. Woke ass California. Oh my God. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. All right, that's it. We did it. They go off the DMV license, I think. I know. I already voted with your signature twice, so don't bother turning in that ballot. No. No. If you don't write in Biden, we're going to be very disappointed. No, I'm not going to fucking write in Biden. What is this? Did this influence your decision? Can't believe I just watched Hasan vote for 9 hours. Yeah, it took 9 hours to fucking do it. You still have time? Okay, I'm not going to do that right now.